sense. Okay, back in business. So, nomination application. So this again is probably where you guys want the most information for. These are the basic steps of what you need to do. First thing is apply to CASA Dublin within your home university. Your home university has to nominate you. So the first thing you do is go to your advisors, go to your global offices, speak to people, and get your application in for CASA at home first. And then once you get through the process, it's going to be individual for every university, so I can't speak to it exactly. But once you get through that application process, you will then be nominated. Assuming your application is approved, you'll be nominated by your home university advisor to CASA Dublin. You will, once you're nominated, once you're accepted, you'll receive emails from me saying, okay, it's time to apply. You will need to apply using the TCD application form. It is a separate application from your application to your home university because we now need your details. That's the concept, that this is now where we start to get more involved with you and start taking over this process. So the link is there. Again, as I said, I will share these slides with your advisor if anyone needs them, but it is on the Trinity website. It is on the CASA website, so it is available to you. These are generally the dates that our applications open. They are subject to change in case of technology issues, etc. But generally, our applications open the 20th of January to the 19th of April for the fall semester or for full year students. And then for spring students, which is what's going to be coming up now very shortly, our application open the 1st of August and they go to the 15th of October. They are absolute deadlines. I have absolutely no impact on them. I can't do anything about them. So they are set in stone unless you're told otherwise. As I said, these are subject to change every year. They generally stay quite similar, but just to be aware, stay on the ball. Don't be risking anything by waiting till the last minute in case something does change. And then, of course, hopefully, haven't ever had issues yet, but you get accepted, you start planning for your time in Dublin then. So these are things to be massively aware of and to note during your application considerations. Number one, our numbers for spring are much higher than fall. Every year there is an imbalance between the two numbers, so we run a wait list for spring, which can mean you're provisionally accepted by your home university. You've went through the application at that side, but that does not mean you're going to be guaranteed a spot in CASA Dublin. We have maximum capacity given to us by the university, and we can't make amendments to that. There's a lot that goes involved in it, so we do run a very strict wait list. We aim to get as many people as possible on it, off the wait list onto our main list, but obviously we cannot guarantee anyone entry. We have in past made it through a lot of the wait list, so don't be discouraged, but we won't guarantee anything because every year our numbers are super excited, they're super high, so we do try our best, but we cannot guarantee anything. Processing times in Trinity are just long. Simple as that's just how things are. Again, hands are tied, can't do much about that. Some of the process can be difficult to navigate. You will get support from us. We aren't going to let you figure it out on your own. That's exactly why we're here, to help you through these processes and to assure you that things are okay. And I can check in on your process through it and tell you if there's any issue that I see coming up. But honestly, I will find that issue way before it ever becomes an issue. I will be in contact with you possibly months before this actually becomes something you need to be worried about. But if this is not your personality type, that cannot suit some people, and that is completely fine. But if you're a very nervous person who's big planner, who needs things done quickly, and trust me, I'm quite the same, so I understand that point of view. This may not be the best choice for you, and not to discourage you. As I said, you will get the support, but if this is something you want to consider, that might be something that might deter you. And massively, I think fall should be considered. I know most people are used to doing the study abroad in the spring, it's a whole culture, and that's totally understandable. It is the automatic choice for people, but fall can actually be a fantastic option. The group is smaller, as I've said. You're pretty much currently, because I don't want to be quoted on this later, you would currently be guaranteed a spot because we don't hit our top numbers at all. Watch there now be an influx, and I will be the liar will be made out of me, but I promise you, at the current time, you would be able to get a spot nearly automatically. The group is smaller, so you'd also get the closer connections. You'd also get more support even from us. Generally, we'll know everyone by name, but in the fall, there's just that bit more that we can offer because our time is not as spread out. And you're also, which I think is a massive thing, you're also joining the time as the same time as all the full degree students. So there's a lot of things on campus set up for full-time students joining the university. Freshers fairs, settling in sessions, introductions, tours that might be mimicked but are never done as widely in the spring semester. They really are catered to the full-time students. You do orientation with us. It's not like you're just joining out of nowhere in spring, but there definitely is further supports in that fall semester for the general student body. So if that's something as well you want to consider, it is something to keep in mind. As I said, for the spring semester, we run a wait list. Our program generally fills up in literally the first couple of days. It is really quick. Our advisors can speak to that. They've already seen how quickly our program has filled up for the spring semester. We are already on our wait list. I am actively working on it, so again, don't let that deter you, but it is something to be considered. So, as I said, the first few days, our nomination period is open. All the universities will nominate, and we will already be on our wait list. We have 45 spots that we cannot go above. On our wait list, students will still need to be fully nominated, and if a spot opens up in our program, the student will be contacted by me to complete their TCD application form. We can't move anyone off the wait list without a name there, without their details, because I need to be able to contact them to make sure that we can get on to the next step. In the past, we have managed to work through the wait list at the end, have gotten to the end of that wait list for a variety of reasons, people dropping out, people choosing different programs, which again, totally understandable. But I cannot and will not ever guarantee people coming off that wait list because it is very much just up to who is in the top 45 spots. So requirements for Trinity. For admission, you need to be currently registered with your university that is nominating you, which I'm pretty sure all of you guys will know already. The minimum GPA is 3.1 out of 4.0 or its equivalent. Some areas might need more, like I believe social science, they require higher GPAs to attend their school. So there's a link there to our mobility guide, and that is explained in better detail. And you can look at what school you would be considering looking at in that link and see if you need a higher GPA. You have to have completed a minimum of 2 year study at a high standard. That just means being 2 years done in your home universities or equivalent. And then if English is not your first language, we will require proof of English language. Then for the application itself, we need personal information like names, contact details, residency details, all the normal stuff. English language proficiency proof if you're not if English is not your first language. This doesn't really affect CASA students because of the nature of coming from the US. But I left it in there just to be safe. You need an official certified recent transcript to upload with your application. So if you are thinking of coming this spring and you know the applications are coming soon, I would already be trying to figure out where to find a transcript. Some of you might be able to download off the portal very easily, but we need an official certified transcript. It can't be a fake, not fake one, that's not the right word, but a preliminary one is what I'm trying to say. From a portal, it has to be officially certified, stamped by your home university. So if that's going to take time, I would already be thinking about trying to pull that from wherever you need to. You will need the study areas you are interested in and a proposed module choice. Something to note specifically about Trinity, which is on you, which is different from a lot of the Irish and UK universities, is you need to be approved for every study area that you want to take. So if you are interested in history, business, geography, and psychology, just four off the top of my head, you can put in all those, you'll have to put in every single one of those study areas, even if you only want to take one module in history because you want to check out Irish history while you're here, which is something that happens with a lot of students. You will still need to put that in as a study area you are interested in because you need to be approved in it. You can only take modules from an area you have been approved in. So making sure you list all of them, you will be allowed to choose between five or six. But we always ask that you would have three areas you were approved in. That'll just give you the best choice when it comes to module registration. So I will be keeping an eye for your application. And if I see you've less than three approved areas because you were rejected from a couple of the schools, I'll reach out and say, hi, do you want to consider putting in one or two more just to give you the best choices? And then you will need an academic reference from someone in your home university, professor, someone like that. And there is more information there. This is a quick run through, so it's not going to be in depth, but there is a step-by-step application guide on our website for anyone who wants to do some further research before they complete that application. Um, Academics, you are going to be in regular classes. You are just going to be treated like another Trinity student. You'll have first-hand experience into the requirements of a full degree student because you will attend the regular classes. You can mix and match, as I said, modules from a variety of schools. You will choose all the ones you're interested in your application, but again, I'm saying this twice because it is so important. You do have to be approved in every one of them. So making sure that you cover all areas that you might be interested in, even if, like I said, it's something like history where you just want to take an Irish history module, you want to take a culture module, Irish language class, because of the experience, that still needs to be an accepted study area. Our current module list can be found at a link. It's on our website, but again, I will share these slides with your advisor. So if anyone wants to reach out to get them, that's completely fine. The most important thing to note, and it comes up every year, is the difference in our grading. It is a bit of a shock to the system when you first arrive in Ireland. I know in the US there's a lot more homework, a lot more continuous assessment. You'd be graded on a lot more of the participation. While in Ireland, you tend to only get maybe one, two, maybe three assessments over the whole semester. So a lot of people will find that one, they'll have one assessment, essay, something like that in a research paper in the middle of their term, and then another assessment of some description at the end around the exam timetable, around that exam period, whether it's in person or not. So that is one thing to note, and also that our grading is just inherently lower. So 100% aren't exactly a thing here. Now, in some areas, it naturally will be science. There's very specific answers, but even at that, a lot of it is more the research based than the actual just answering questions. So our top grades start at a 1-1. That is when you get your degree, 1-1 is the top that you can get, and that grading starts 70%. So anything above a 70 in our grading system is considered fantastic top levels, and so on down. So that is something to consider as well. If you feel like that is something that you won't be able to adapt to, keeping that in mind. So, as always, we have support from you from every angle. I genuinely mean that. We have the 24-hour support through International SOS. You have the CASA support, as I've explained. You get it both on a personal level if you're struggling with homesickness, loneliness, anything, just having a bad day. You can reach out to us and we can talk to you, we can meet you, we can see is there anything we can do. And there's also the university-based support. So if you have problems with your modules, if there's classes that are causing issues, your processing is not working out, again, contact us. We'll be there, happy to help at all times. We will be there for literally the small, the big. We want you to be in contact with us. And there is also the fact that we have resources available for you at all times. You'll be in constant contact with email. You'll all be on WhatsApp with us. And then we do have a CASA Dublin Google site with an absolute array of resources, even down to recommendations of where to eat, where to shop. All of those things are all clearly on there. So you will get all around support. Academic support, students get learning and development, can go to the learning and development office or the senior tutor's office if there's any academic issues arising. Then, as I said, counselling services are available on Trinity campus. Health service is available on campus. I should say disability service is also available. And then we do have the Global Room, which has events for all international students, which again, you will be able to be part of the larger cohort while still having your smaller program built within it. Just something about Trinity. We are a very old university. There's history in every corner of the university. The year it was founded was 1592. It is ranked one of the best universities in the world. It is the leading university in Ireland. We've about 170 clubs and societies, which you will have full access to. We've 39% international academic staff. Trinity Library is a depository, so that means anything that gets published within Ireland or the UK has to be available through the Trinity Library. So there is over 6 million books, and that could even be underestimating it at this point, considering this could be, I think this graphic could be a couple of years old, so it's always growing. The campus is 47 acres, smack bang in the middle of Dublin City. You are literally walking out onto the streets of Dublin and is ranked one of the top 1% of institutions around the world. As I said, you were absolutely in the heart of Dublin. It feels like Dublin was built around Trinity and the streets that it is on, which it is. It is there that long that the city has essentially grown around the city centre, which has Trinity in it. So you are best placed to explore, to see Dublin. Um, the best, you'll be able to see history, culture, the crack, which is the Irish word for fun. You can go to Phoenix Park, which is one of the largest walled parks in Europe. You can go to Howth. We're along the seaside, the coast, so there's loads of beaches and everything along our coastline. I hope you all have decent enough weather to feel the need to go to our coastline. Can never promise it, but we do hope it's good enough to even check it out for a day. And you'll have recommendations from previous students. We are trying to build this program every year and improve on it every year, get more from every student every year. So every year it is going to continue to grow and grow and grow, and you'll have more recommendations. It is also good to note that Ireland is the fifth safest country on the 2026 World Peace Index, so you can feel safe in Ireland, in Dublin. You can feel that security while you're on your travels. There's some pictures, literally all a stone's throw away from the front gates in Trinity, including a picture of Trinity at the top there. So, yeah, you're really in the heart of it. Housing, we don't really have specifics. There is a housing crisis in Ireland, so we are always working on the best housing options available in that specific year. But the biggest thing to note from our housing is that as of fall 26, CASA will be billing students first. You won't be paying our providers directly. CASA will pay for it and then it'll be billed back to the universities, to students, however it is completed. And this will really help people, especially those who are on financial aid, because it was a large amount of money to ask for upfront. This way it can be dealt with at, at a home base level. Visa and immigration. For most students coming to CASA Dublin, you will enter Ireland on a US passport. Not everyone, but a large majority will. This means you will not have to apply for a visa, but you will need to attend appointment with our immigration services within 90 days to get a permission to remain, which is essentially a meeting to make sure all your documents are okay, finances, letters from Trinity, etc. We go into detail about this when you arrive because you can only book this appointment once you've arrived in Ireland. So if and when we do get to meet you guys, this will be discussed in um very good detail, but for now that's the idea. You don't need to apply for a visa prior to arrival. If you have an EU, UK, EEA, or Swiss passport, you do not need to attend this appointment, but you do have to make sure you enter Ireland using that passport. So some of you might have dual citizenship. Make sure you're using the right passport. If you have an EU, etc. passport and enter Ireland using that passport, you can bypass all of that and just remain as any EU, etc. citizen would. Students using different passports, there's always a few every year that might have different heritage, which is totally understandable, but you can check the individual requirements of that passport on that link there on the immigration website. It'll come up first thing on Google anyway if you're looking for it, but you can see then what passport gets where. So it's just a quick little rundown of how people have felt because I say it's brilliant. I am a big supporter of all things at CASA, obviously, but just to show that I'm not just making it up, people get fantastic experiences out of it. Well, as you can see, one of our students said it was transformative, it was helpful, felt welcomed. All that is what we want. So they're just some of the quotes that we got from our cohort this year and a couple more pictures of where we were. Like the GA sign is from being in Croke Park. There's Newgrange. There's the Viking Splash Tour that I mentioned. All of which are things we constantly have on our event list, but go into rotation. So they're all available to you depending on what we're doing that year. So these are some of the resources you might need. I might throw all these links in the chat because they're kind of the main ones in just a moment. Requirements for CASA Dublin, the CASA website, which Hannah thankfully has already put in, some mobility information, and of course, massively my email address, which I will absolutely put into the chat. You are more than welcome to email me. I actually would love to discuss any issues you might be having, any concerns. I'd rather actually hear about them and deal with them than you guys wondering, having issues further down the line, because I often find that if we can fix it now, it becomes a much smaller issue than if it was further down the line. I will put that in the chat though in one moment, but basically that is me done talking. You've definitely had enough of me. So thank you, thank you, thank you very much. In Irish, Gurv Mila Mahagwith. If you do have any questions, please ask me now. I am just going to shut off this recording and then I'll put those links in the chat as well while I'm waiting for people to ask questions. Thank you, guys.